Welcome back, MMA fans. I am your host, the Jman. Welcome to my fabulous UFC 111 video review. And let me tell you, I was just so geared up for UFC 111. You know, it was an awesome event. It was a packed card, and I really enjoyed it. Although the John Fitch fight could have been a lot better because, as we know, Thiago Alves had to drop out of that one. So unfortunately, that didn't go over too well. You know, it wasn't as good of a fight as it could have been with Ben Saunders in there. But overall, it was a good card. I had a good time, enjoyed the fights. But let's get right to the results. I want to tell you all about what happened, give you my thoughts on that. So, I'm looking here at MMAplayground.com, specifically for the video, and I just want to get to the results here. We have John Fitch versus Ben Saunders. I know a couple people predicted Ben Saunders to pull off an upset, but it was John Fitch who ended up getting the majority decision. He dominated very well. I saw him dominating in the clinch, and I saw him doing some really good striking. Impressive by Fitch, although he wasn't able to finish him. It was a good fight. Props go to Fitch. He's still number 2 in the division, in my opinion. Ben Saunders, he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad, to tell the truth. Okay, so I predicted John Fitch to win, and he did clearly win. So that gives me 11 points there, because I chose judge's decision. And I got 11 points for that on MMA Playground. Let me go to Nate Diaz versus Roy Markham. Nate Diaz making his 170-pound debut, going up from lightweight, as we previously saw him fight Gray Maynard. An unimpressive match. He just barely lost by decision, split decision. But he showed some decent striking in that. Anyway, Nate Diaz goes on to win against Roy Markham. He ended up beating him in the first round by technical knockout. So props go to Nate Diaz for that one. Alright, I got 5 points for that. And then we're going to the next match that I predicted. We're skipping a couple of matches. I didn't really have a say-so on those. I didn't know too much about those guys on the undercard. So let's just go right to the main event. Well, co-main event, Shane Carwin, Frank Mir. Alright, I had a lot of anticipation for this one. You know, it was such a close call. It was so hard to predict. Shane Carwin had the knockout power. Frank Mir had the technical striking on his side and the experience, not to mention the jiu-jitsu, and Shane Carwin had the wrestling advantage. So it could have gone either way. And even though I predicted Mir, I was expecting that there was a really good chance Shane Carwin could knock out Mir. Although that didn't happen. The fight ended in the first round. You know, I said it would probably go to the end of the second or the middle of the third, something like that. I expected Frank Mir to push the pace, which didn't really happen. Frank Mir came at Carwin with some good combinations. But the point is that he missed those combinations, and it brought him too close to Carwin. Carwin was able to push him against the cage on more than one occasion. He put Frank Mir's back against the cage, pinned him there. They exchanged some knees by Carwin, didn't really do any damage. The referee had to break it. They go back to the stand-up, and the same thing happens. Carwin is able to get him against the cage, and from there, Carwin just explodes. He hammers Mir with like 6 straight uppercuts, like right to the chin over and over again. Mir was dazed. Started wobbling, fell down to his knees. Carwin just continued to pummel him, pounding him, and eventually Mir got on his stomach, laying down flat almost, and Carwin just kept running in there with the strikes against the side of the head, big hammer fist, and Mir just got clobbered. They had to call it. Frank Mir lost that one. I was very unimpressed by Frank Mir. I expected him to be able to evade better. It's just unfortunate for Mir. He'll never be able to get that rematch against Lesnar. Well, I shouldn't say never. But Carwin gets the interim championship, the heavyweight title. He gets the shot at Brock Lesnar. And, yeah, I'm just very skeptical about Carwin's ability to beat Brock Lesnar. Anyway, good fight. Pretty shocking, like I thought it was going to be. Like Carwin said, there would be some wow moments, and there were. Carwin has got some fierce power. Anyway, now let's get on to the main event. Georges St-Pierre against Dan Hardy. All right. Pretty much everyone predicted Pierre to win. Okay. 8-1 odds. You know, it was no big mystery about who was going to win this fight. I mean, the only thing Dan Hardy really had going for him was his knockout power, and you know, the UFC, Spike TV really promoted that. They did a good job promoting that. They tried to oversell it a little bit, but Dan Hardy, a tough guy, man. The fight went all 5 rounds. Okay, they had to go to a decision on that one. GSP tried so hard to finish Dan Hardy. I mean, he literally just brought out the kitchen sink, pulled out all the stops. He got Dan Hardy in an arm bar, and the first round stretched that arm bar so far back and pulled it so tight it looked like it was going to snap. Dan Hardy, he just would not quit. Then again, or I think it was the 3rd or the 4th round, GSP had him in a Kimura, I think, and man, he cranked that thing, but Dan Hardy just wouldn't tap out. I mean, you got to give props to Dan Hardy. He is super tough. He earned my respect. I give him so much credit for hanging in there all 5 rounds. He got dominated, but he was able to survive. Dan Hardy showed a lot of class, too. GSP, I'm not disappointed in him at all. He put on a show. He gave it 110% like he always does. You know, he apologized to his fans for not being able to finish Hardy. I don't think that's really necessary. I mean, it was just Dan Hardy's toughness that kept him alive. There really wasn't anything you could do to beat Dan Hardy. You know, maybe if GSP had focused on ground and pound, he could have TKO'd him. But Dan Hardy's just so darn stubborn, and that's a good thing. I was impressed. Great fight, though. I enjoyed it a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give me your comments and your thoughts. And I'll see you next time on UFC 112.